My name is Maura, and I like to make whatever pops into my head. This time I'm making a little end table to go at the end of my couch. Unfortunately, it won't make my couch look any better, but that's an issue for a different day. I hate that couch. If you are expecting some fine woodworking in this video, you have come to the wrong place. I like to make stuff, usually based on the junk I have in the garage. And I have the attention span of a fly, so I want projects that will come together fairly quickly. The projects I make, including this one, are perfect enough. So this one I started with a doodle. It wasn't a great doodle because I missed a piece, but we'll get to that later. The shelves and the sides are made from pine 1x6s, and on the computer I drew out the detail shape that I wanted at the bottom of the sides. I was going to cut a half circle at first, but I decided on something more interesting. And I used a jigsaw to cut it out. I marked where the shelves are going to go. There should be 3 here and not just 2. That is the missing piece I haven't realized that I need yet. But I marked the location of the shelves and measure into where the drill holes are going to be later. And I used a spring-loaded center hole punch to put little divots at each hole location. It's not required to use the punch, but it is nice. The brad nails are super wimpy here, but they hold everything in place for a minute. You can see a wiggle a bit. It might be perfect enough in a pinch, but this little table will be next to the couch and is probably going to have to put up with a fair amount of abuse. I used a countersink bit to pre-drill holes where the little divots are and add some decent screws. Make sure the heads of the screws are below the surface of the wood. I'm going to cover up that crap in a minute. It was about now that I started to think about how to attach the top to the base. Crap, I should have probably thought of that sooner. So I had to cut another shelf piece and add it to the top. It's a little harder to get in this way, but it works. But you should cut 3 shelves, not 2. Then I realized I should have also pre-drilled the holes for the top before I added that last shelf. Crap. So I had to go back and add some countersink holes. These screws I won't cover up and I won't glue the top down. Hopefully that'll be enough to allow for wood movement down the road. And if it's not, well, it's a good thing I didn't glue the thing down. I cover up all the screws minus the ones for the top with some Bondo for woodworking. I like using this stuff because it sets up so fast. I could have been a little more careful with this part. Some of the screw holes have some divots after sanding, or I could have just added more Bondo later. But again, attention span of a fly. So I just sanded it, then moved on to painting. For the purple base, I used a Liquitex Basic Diazanine Purple. It took at least 3 coats to get an even coat, but I love it. And I am purple obsessed, so I might be biased. Yeah. For the design on the side, I wanted some skulls and some flowers, so I thought having a single skull at the bottom of the floral design coming out of it would be cool. Kind of a life coming from death kind of thing. I like the floral and I love the skull, but the design styles didn't match. I meant for the skull to be more cartoony like the flowers, but I got carried away with the shading. I had to stare at it for a day to figure out what to do. I even asked the internet for help. I decided to add some more shading to the flowers and tone down the skull, kind of split the difference on the styles. Then I had another dilemma. What should I do with the other side? There's no physical way to see both sides at the same time, so there is no reason to agonize about painting them the exact same. So I decided to flip the design and have a large flower at the bottom and lots of little skulls growing out of it. I love it so much. Once that thoroughly dried, I gave it a couple coats of satin top coat by General Finishes. I know I'm supposed to sand between coats of paint and top coats and all that, so you get that nice glossy finish and real smooth, but I don't see why. But I think I'm the only person on the planet that likes paint strokes in my projects. I want to be able to tell that it's made by hand. So I used a bandsaw to cut my maple top. Messed up that simple job a bit, but it kind of looked like a live edge, so I had left the lumpy bits and just sanded the crap out of it. About 80 grit up to about 220. I use Odie's oil and wax to make it pretty and butter smooth. I had to use a right angle drill adapter to get the screws in to attach the top, but then I was done, and it looks great in my little living room. Too bad my couch still looks like crap.